Welcome back to Overland Florida, everybody. I'm Kevin, and today Jillian, Goose, Maggie, and our friend Ryan are camping in New Hampshire. This is my first time in New Hampshire. I've never been this far northeast before, and it's just beautiful land out here. Dogs are running around off leash, and we're set up right here on the Sweet River, and it's actually a hip camp called Sweet Song Acres. Maggie. So out here on Sweet Song Acres, we have roughly just over 100 acres to ourselves. And if you hear the water rushing, we are right along the river right here. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Jillian's cooking a mountain man breakfast. We got the runway all set up. Dogs are happy. Ryan's set up on the other side of the 4Runner, and he's in a tent. He's still sleeping. This is our Runway Venturist 6x8 camper, and we'll start in the back. We got the option for the large door in the rear. It comes in very handy, especially when you're trying to pack away large things, or if you need to escape from the camper to go use the restroom at nighttime. Here we have our OVS, Overland Vehicle Systems 270-degree awning. It goes from the back door, winds all the way around, and goes past the front of the camper. Comes in handy. It does have a zipper, so you can enclose this. You can get a room and a floor and make this a rather large area. This is how we cook our meals. Jillian is cooking a mountain man breakfast. We have our front runner silverware rack right there. We have our Amazon paper towel holder right here. We do have LED light strips that are Velcro, and we can Velcro them across each one of these arms that goes out. They are color changing. To go with our cooking setup, we do have an optional propane tank that came from Runaway Campers. They mounted it and installed it for us. Here along the river, we have our hammock set up. We never leave anywhere without the hammock. We always have one in each one of our vehicles, and we always have one in the boat. And this was my Christmas or birthday gift last year from Jillian. This thing is awesome, comes in really handy. Just tap it. You got water, it's 12 volts, holds like 3.5 gallons. There's even an LED light under there, so at nighttime you can kind of find it. Inside the camper is kind of a mess right now just because we have 2 dogs out here in the woods. But we have made the bed go from the back door all the way to the front. We have a little spot cut out right here so you can kind of sit and get in and out of the camper. We have a Booge RV Rocky 55-quart refrigerator right there, stainless steel, really good refrigerator. The camper comes with air conditioning, so we have a 5,000 BTU air conditioner. On that door and this door, we have a 23-0 organizer. It's just screwed right across the top to the door, and we get a lot of storage just in those doors right there. On the top of the camper, I have 2 180-watt solar panels mounted, and I didn't have time to get the correct conduit to hide the wires, so I have this on there right now for this trip. But when we get back to Florida, we're gonna hide those wires a lot better. Those 2 solar panels come down here to the Booge RV solar charge controller. That solar charge controller goes to this 280 amp hour LiPo battery. So that really large battery comes in handy. Even if I didn't have any kind of solar, or let's say I have the solar and we went more than 14 days without any sun at all, that battery will run the refrigerator and our LED lights for 14 days with absolutely no charge coming in. So it's gonna be really rare that we'd ever go that long without any kind of sun to keep the battery charged. But ever since I hooked up the 360 watts of solar to that battery, it stays completely topped off every day, and it comes in really handy. It's really good to have that large capacity of a battery. Gives you a peace of mind that your refrigerator is not going to be shutting off, and you're always going to have power wherever you go. On this side right here, we have our shower room. You can use this for a bathroom. You can use it for a changing room. It's got little bags up there. There's actually an LED strip up there, so even at nighttime, it's all lit up for using the restroom, changing, or taking a shower. The brand of this is DFG Off-Road, and they're a Florida-based company, so if you want to support local, DFG Off-Road, they do have a website. You can order stuff to your house. Up on top, we do have a road shower. I believe that one's 10 or 11 gallons. It is pressurized, and it's up to 55 PSI, so it's just about the same pressure you'd have at your house if you turn on the spigot. So in the Pelican 1600 case right here, I get a lot of questions. This is the right size for instant hot water heater. This is the Julka hot tap instant hot water heater. It does have a 12-volt pump right here, so you can pump water, let's just say from a bucket, from a creek, a river, a pond, a lake. You can actually pump the water with this pump to this hot water heater. This runs off the propane tank that's mounted on the other side, and you have instant hot water heater. It gets really hot. Even on the lowest setting, it's almost too hot for me. So I love hot showers, and this thing really comes through. These are all the hoses. This is the shower head, and all this stuff will fit perfectly in this case, including obviously the hot water heater. So it's all kind of like self-contained in there, and it's really handy. I don't have to worry about leaving anything at home or losing anything, because it all kind of fits snug in there. So that's pretty much it for the camper. Let's move on to the 4Runner. If you guys watched this channel before, you would know that Jillian built really nice drawers for her 4Runner. She had a sleeping platform, she had a tilting and a rollout fridge slide. Now that we have another puppy, we kind of had to get rid of all that and start over. So we have a sheet of plywood that we stained on the bottom, gave us kind of like just a flat level platform. And we have 2 gunner crates, one for Maggie, one for Goose. They take up a majority of the room. All right, back here is a tool roll. Never leave anywhere without your tools. But right back here, Jillian installed a solar panel on her hood. I'll go ahead and go to that. Hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the creek, but that's the solar panel right there. And that goes down here to this red arc. So the solar panel is 100 watts. That's gonna go to the dual battery setup. Underneath this panel right here, you can see she has the AGM battery, and over there's the starter battery for the 4Runner. So we have that solar panel. Those wires go all the way back to this little panel, and that gives us the readout, the watts coming in, the power that's getting consumed. We have this right here is a fan for the dog. We have multiple outlets for charging phones, devices, cameras, you name it. So Jillian did a passenger seat delete. So the rear of the 4Runner has a 60-40 split bench. So we took out this portion of the seat. We left that little jump seat over there in case we needed to take a third person or just for emergency purposes. But we installed the Dometic CFX refrigerator right here. It's really easy to get to. It's low enough that you can kind of reach in there to the very bottom. We still don't like the lid on these refrigerators. They're really hard. You got to push down with all your weight just to get it to close. But that's in there firmly. And that's pretty much it for the 4Runner. At Sweet Song Acres, there's a little over 100 acres to explore. They have some old roads, some little walking paths. I think the longest one is about 0.8 of a mile long. That's the one that we're on. I think it goes to the summit. I don't know how much of a view there is, but we're gonna find out. Over here, Goose found a rock. It's got a hole in it.
Stay over here, please. Hey, stop right there. Don't bother.
So here's the view from the summit. It's a lot more clear and open than I thought it was going to be. If you hear all the heavy breathing, minus the dogs, we are so out of shape. So used to walking in flat Florida. Forgot what it's like to walk up 0.8 of a mile uphill. So we regret not bringing the hammock up here because not only do we have the perfect trees for the hammock and the view right there, but the dogs are so ready for a nap. So our reward for reaching the summit with the dogs is our first dip in a river in New Hampshire. So as soon as we get back towards the campground, we're gonna let the dogs run freely in the creek. I'm gonna kick my shoes off and cool off as well. Are you tired, little girl? You can barely even climb up now. This will be our first official dip in any body of water in New Hampshire. Goose has the right idea. This old dump truck is exactly what Jillian and I need for our property in North Carolina. Last registered in 2013. It's probably a runner. Just before you get to our camper is the outhouse. 10 out of 10 would recommend. This is probably the cleanest outhouse ever. I don't usually show things like this, but again, don't have to come here and be worried that you're not going to have anywhere to use the restroom. So we've arrived back at our camp. That was about 32 minutes, 1.2 miles. Not too bad going uphill. Really nice view of the summit. And now it's time to get something to snack on, and then I'm probably gonna take a nap.
That's not high, this is high.
I'm not done here with protein.
So tonight for dinner, we're starting off with some homegrown jalapenos we grew in our backyard. We only had a couple, so we bought another bag. But we're gonna make some stuffed jalapenos on the fire right there. Excuse all the dog noise. And then for dinner, we're heating leftovers up from last night. We made sausage, butternut squash, rice. It's pretty delicious, so we're gonna have that again tonight.
Kind of looks like you're dying hair.
So tonight, instead of s'mores, Jillian's been wanting to do this for a very long time. We're actually cooking Rice Krispie treats with chunks of marshmallow in them over the fire.
It is? Actually, I think we have the
they said.
But he came out after. Like, yeah, after a year of none, he was in it for the day.
So it's a beautiful morning here at Sweet Song Acres. We got the 4Runner packed and the camper turned around. We're going on a walk again to tire out the dogs because now we're gonna have almost a 3-hour drive from New Hampshire to Connecticut. That's our next stop. So we're gonna go back up to the summit of the mountain, take another view, and tire out the dogs. You guys found the only water hole on the entire trail. That's their little prize for making it halfway. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but I can tell you it's way more humid than it would be in Florida right now. But we made it to the top, and we didn't realize it until we were at the bottom at the campground that neither one of us saved the directions for today's travels, and we don't have any service to get out of here. So we really had to come to the top to see if we could get a couple bars of service just to download the maps. So turns out we have about a 2-hour and 35-minute drive to Connecticut.
I'm going on the river.
I said, Goose, you know you have to go in your Kindle in the back of the 4Runner like that.
Nope. I'm going on the river. Both of them.
Well, everybody, our time here has come to an end. This is a wrap for our campsite in New Hampshire. This is a hip camp. It's available on the app. It's called Sweet Song Acres. There is one campsite that's this big. You can fit quite a few campers in here. There's a couple little pull-offs over there. You can set up tents or park vehicles. And then about a quarter of a mile away is another campsite that you can rent as well. So both of those are available. Plus you can hike up into the mountains. They say it's like 100 and something acres that you can explore. There's a wildlife management area over here, as well as this river to go trout fishing in if you want to.